Hello and welcome to Cal's Corner. I'm Cal, a gunner who likes talking about football and Arsenal in general. And today I just wanted to talk about the transfer news, the recent transfer news. I do these every couple of days because I don't like repeating myself day in, day out. So I kind of put together a group, wait for some stuff to accumulate, and then discuss. And there's a lot to discuss today. But before I get into that, please like the video. It helps support the channel. And please subscribe if you want to see more. Now that that's out of the way, now let's get into it. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the Eberechi Eze news, the Ornstein bomb that was dropped. Arsenal put Eberechi Eze high among the options to bolster attack. No contact with Crystal Palace yet. Unclear if needs exit, but serious candidate. Plus separate to the striker and winger. Arsenal Football Club would like to pay below the release clause. Tottenham Hotspur not pursuing for now. Now, this is actually really, really, really big news. We always thought when we that first the first news drop that we were interested in Eze. An argument was, hey, is it's going to be Eze or Rodrygo. Eze is probably going to be the backup in case we don't get the dream signing Rodrygo. And some people were saying, hey, I like Eze. I think he's an extremely good player, but I don't want him as an out and out wing on the left. And even though I personally disagree with that, I still think he would cook on the left. It seems like we don't have to choose, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be a separate signing from the striker and winger. So it seems like Arsenal is looking for a creative midfielder, one who's versatile, a winger, and a striker. And the winger's probably going to be a left winger. So that's really, really good news. It means that we don't have to, give up on the Rodrigo. And even if it takes long to get done, we can, get it done. This is really, really, really good news because uh according to reports, Eberechi Eze is also keen on Arsenal as well. And just continuing on, as of now, no direct contact between Palace and Arsenal for Eze. The player has a £68 million release clause, but it's felt like a deal could be done for around £60 million. I think so too, dude. Like, negotiate, do your thing, but this is a player that would just excite the fan base. It would excite everyone. You will get everyone on your side if we get, Eberechi Eze and a winger in. That's just adding so much quality to the squad. The fact that we'd have so much more options in the midfield, we'd have good cover for the left wing as well. And I'm impressed that we are actually going for this type of player, for this caliber of player, alongside a winger. Because I thought it would have been very, very hard to convince Eberechi Eze to join Arsenal, knowing that Rodrigo is going to be one of our main left wing targets for the summer. But we were in contact with him. It was reported that from hand of Arsenal that Mikel Arteta was in that interview, which is something that a detail that he doesn't really add, that he hasn't been adding this summer. So it kind of tells me that Mikel Arteta isn't there all the time. So Mikel Arteta has obviously briefed him on how he wants to use him, and he's still keen. This is not going to be an issue for him, and if we can get them both, it'll be an absolutely fantastic, amazing summer. I really like Eze. He has that X factor, and he will just improve us in so many ways. You just love to hear it. More news. Arsenal view Eze more as an attacking midfielder than a left winger, although he can play there. Arsenal are strong favourites, so should they decide to move. And hey, if our only competition is Spurs to get the player, I think we get him. He used to be an Arsenal boy. He got released when he was 13. Bring him home, you know. And that's just reiterating the fact that he is thought of by the club as separate from the left wing. He's not the left wing option. And hey, I'm like, please get that done. You know. In other news, this has already happened, but Rodrigo will be on the bench again for the third consecutive match for Real Madrid as they face Juventus. Now, watching the game, I actually watched the game. Real Madrid versus Juventus. It was pretty even in the first half. In the second half, Madrid kind of dominated Juventus. I reckon. They looked kind of shaky. I don't think they look that fluid. They don't look that good, but they still won the game 1-0. And Rodrigo didn't feature at all for the entire game. In fact, for the entire game, I can't even remember the camera panning to him on the bench. He didn't do any warm-ups. He just was not featured at all in the game. And I think he's just on his way out. I think they're just trying to play without him because they know that he's probably not going to be there next season. And I cannot see a player like Rodrigo of his caliber, of his stature, to be bold enough to ask Real Madrid that he wants the left wing over Mbappe and over Vinicius Jr. That type of player that wants to be the number one option on the team, who feels underappreciated, is going to take this, is going to accept this. He's just not. And you know, this is just business. And I think we've all, if you old enough to have like a corporate job, you've seen stuff like this before. When a company wants someone to leave, sometimes they will not fire them, they will kind of shut them out. And there will be signs. And I think because he's making waves, they're kind of like, okay, you're not going to get that left wing, and we're okay with you not being here, because they're not even starting him on the right, you know. So I think he's on his way out, and I think we have a really, really good chance of getting him. Um, some people might think that's delusional. I don't. I think we're a very attractive club. I think we have a really good project. I think you'll make a lot of money at Arsenal with in sponsorships coming to London. I think he will be the number one guy. Like it or not, we do challenge in the Champions League. We made it to the semi final. We made it to the quarterfinal the year before that. So, you know, I think we're a very attractive project, and I think if we spend the money, we could turn his head and get him. More Eucharist news. It's just Eucharist Sesko. I've been trying to keep calm on this, but seems like Arsenal are moving closer for a deal for Victor Eucharist by L'Equipe. Apparently, they are a reliable source. I'm not really too in tune with some of the better papers and journalists and that sort of stuff, but I've been told that L'Equipe is quite reliable, so maybe they are. But I'm not really too sure. Like, I want Victor Gyökeres. He is my preferred option. I would love him at the club. I think he would transform us. I think we would all the chances we we want to that would drop for him, he will score. I mean, I think we as Arsenal fans, we overcomplicate things. We want this player to do that. We want them. How would they be in the system? Blah blah blah. We put Mikel Moreno up front, and it worked. It worked for a bit just because he was a little clinical in front of goal. He was banging in goals. So I think a Victor Gyökeres would be fine in this team, and he would score a lot of goals. And I think he's exactly what we need to take us across the line. And he's a winner. He's a winner. He wins. So I would love him at the club. I really hope that we're pivoting away from Seshko. I'm not a Seshko hater. I don't hate him, but I just prefer Victor Gyökeres, and I would love that. Another source, Sasha Tovaleri. I don't know the guy. He says Victor Gyökeres reaches an agreement with Arsenal for a contract valid for 5 years. I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. I don't think our problem is Victor Gyökeres. I think he wants the club. He wants to come to Arsenal. I think it's just talking to Sporting Lisbon and getting that deal done, uh, getting it at a lower fee than what they want. If we don't get the fee we want, I can't see us signing him. I really hope that some agreement can be made, and soon. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, we see a bid come in for Victor Gyökeres, and we can start get the ball rolling on that one. More news. The Mascara saga continues. Mascara is reviewing a detailed renewal offer presented yesterday from Valencia with his closest circle. The emphasis on Arsenal Sporting project, which is far superior. The offer comes when Arsenal have already dangled the carrot. We've already, he's already convinced of the project. I think he's either 20 or 21 years old. Let's face it, Arsenal has one of the best defenses in the world, if not the best, and we have been known to develop young defenders into and make them very good consistently. So I think if you're a young defender, Arsenal is probably a very, very good place for you to come and and kind of learn the ropes of the best Gabriel and Saliba. And we have a lot of games that we want to play next season. I think he bolsters that right side defense and get him in there. I think Valencia's just, I don't know if they want more money or they're really desperate to keep him, but when Arsenal knocks, man, like I don't think he's gonna be renewing, and it's not looking like it. Valencia offer for Mascara still not up to the mark, waiting for Arsenal next bid. So that's another source saying that hey, he reviewed it and just not interested. And I mean, yeah, Arsenal will be a big jump in his career. He's probably going to get a decent salary as well, and he's going to be learning off the best of the best, playing Champions League football, playing, in the Prem. So I'm not too stressed out about the Mascara deal. I think it gets done. And we got the full signing of Kepa. He's the backup goalkeeper. I don't really have much to say on this. I think he's a decent signing. He is, even though he's a quote unquote Chelsea reject, £5 million for a backup goalkeeper. I'm here for it. He's proven he had a good season last season. I think it's okay. I'm not too stressed about it. I'm not crying about it. It was £5 million. I think spending £25 million on Juan Garcia would have been terrible business with all the signings that we have to do this summer and all the it just would have been terrible money spent on a backup goalkeeper. I think £5 million on the goalkeeper is exactly what we need, especially because of all the money we have spent on goalkeepers. We just need to put an end to it. Raya is an excellent goalkeeper. He is an pardon me. He is our number one, and I'm happy with him being the number one. Kepa could step in for some of the cup games. Breaking news: Saudi club is preparing a huge bid to try to sign Gabriel Martinelli, even though Arsenal want to keep the Brazilian winger in the summer. I don't think it's any kind of secret that Arsenal have been like we want better than Martinelli. I think that's fair enough. I think if we get a decent fee for Martinelli and he accepts the whatever and he accepts the terms from a Saudi club, I think he goes. My problem is I don't think he's going to accept a bid to a Saudi club. I don't think he leaves. But if he does, I think that would be excellent. We can use that money to definitely get in better. That would mean we're more confident in going in for Eze and Rodrygo. That was a bit of a brain dud right there. And yeah, I mean, Martinelli's never going to accept a bid. I would love it if he kind of just leaves because I don't think he's good enough. I personally don't think he's good enough for Arsenal Football Club, and I would rather get in both him and Trossard. By the way, I would rather get in more options. I would rather get in an exciting young player on that left hand side alongside a Rodrigo to kind of bolster that left hand side because he's just. I think we've given him enough time and I don't think he works. And whether it be our system or maybe he's just not up to scratch, I think it's very optimistic to think that every player that comes to Arsenal is good enough to be Champions League and Premier League winning players. It's just not the case. Sometimes they just don't work out, and I think Martinelli is just one of those guys. I think most likely he's just probably going to be cover for Rodrigo or whoever we get in on that left hand side. And lastly, we've been keep getting linked to Nani Madueke. Arsenal are discussing Nani Madueke internally in a separate deal from Eberechi Eze as reported last week. No proposal has been sent to Chelsea or Nani as Arsenal keep assessing multiple options. I think this would be horrible. I do not want Nani Madueke at Arsenal Football Club. This is bad news. I do not want him here. I don't care. I really, 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 really don't care about how good he is. Well, not that I don't care how good he is. I don't care if he'd be good cover for Saka. Um, I don't think I think the optics of this is just very, very bad. I think we have too much contention in the fan base for this to fly. We take too many of a lot of fans think we take too many Chelsea rejects, and I personally agree. I don't want him at Arsenal Football Club, and his ceiling is not never going to be good enough. He's never going to challenge Saka ever. It's just not happening. I would much rather spend that money on a young, up and coming right winger if we want one. I think Waneri is good enough to cover, but even if you say you don't want Waneri to cover the right wing and you want him to maybe cover the 10 or whatever the case may be, he's still a better option than Madueke. And yeah, as I said before, I would much rather take a punt with someone young and fresh than Nani Madueke. He's just not good enough, especially for the £15 million asking price that Chelsea has been floating around. I wouldn't take him for 20 million. I personally, you know, if let's say if we signed Rodrygo, Eze, and Gyokeres, and we get Madueke on a loan deal, or like if he's like the fourth attacking option and we pay like 10, £15 million for him, yeah, sure. But to be one of our main three attackers that we get in, that'd be disaster class. Absolutely disaster class. I, no, thank you. Let's say we get maybe no, like even if we because they've already told us that the Eze deal is separate from the winger and striker. I just don't want him. I was thinking, maybe if we get Rodrigo and Eucharist, the Madueke wouldn't be that bad. But to be honest, if we get Rodrigo and Eucharist, we should still have enough money for for Eze, because that's a money thing for me. And we've already, not renewed. We didn't renew Pate, which I think was the right decision. If they don't want to pay him that money, don't pay him the money. You already got in Norgard for cheap. Fine, you know do what you gotta do to save money in certain situations. But that means you go all out on the attacking options. I don't want you penny pinching for the attack. You've already made allowances. I don't want to hear it. I really, really don't. Nani Madueke isn't good enough. Anyway, it's kind of sucks to end the video on a little bit of a sour note, but you know I really don't believe we're gonna get Madueke. I really don't. I think we're gonna get. It's gonna be exciting. I think the next couple of weeks we're gonna. I think good things are happening. And if we get the signings, like if we get Eucharist, Rodrigo, Eze in, like that would uplift the team. That would uplift the fans. It would just be great for everyone involved, and it'll be an amazing, amazing, amazing summer, and we'd be going into next season excited. The Emirates will be rocking from day one, and it'll just be great, great, great. So, anyway, that's all from me. As I said before, if you made it to the end, thank you, because usually people don't make it to the end. But if you made it to the end, thank you very much, and consider liking the video and consider subscribing. Thank you. See you next time.